Hey, que Pasa Calexico? Welcome back to the podcast. Before we begin, like I usually do, I'll thank my sponsors, my anchor sponsors, my homies from the Speechos, Jake, Sergio, and Jonathan. I also want to thank David Gastelum. If you're thinking of buying or selling a home in the Imperial or San Diego counties, make sure you contact David Gastelum, 760-235-9576. He's not only a realtor, but he's an investor with over 20 years of experience. And today I want to thank our friends here at Strangers West for allowing me to record today's episode here. Today they're having their cafecito and chismes, so I think they're having it tomorrow as well. So if you're in the area, make sure to stop by. And today I'm kind of like nervous and excited because I've been talking about. This is one of the people I've been talking about from downtown El Centro. It's not only him, it's Derek and Jessica and Ernie from the downtown area that are in El Centro who are trying to keep the downtown area alive and bringing new stuff for people to come by and I don't know, guess shop local and support the local arts. Like I said, I've been talking about you guys for a while now, and it's kind of a pleasure to kind of like finally meet you in person. So today's guest is Jerrod Storm. Thank you for being here today, Jerrod.
Oh, thanks for doing this. We've been talking about it for a minute.
Yeah, we have. And like I said, you guys have been, like the stars align when you, Derek, Jessica, and Ernie kind of like started, hanging out here in the downtown area. And you've been doing it for a while now. You've been doing the Fiesta on 5th for a while. Can you tell us a little bit about, well, normally I like to start with my guests telling us a little bit about themselves. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, man. Came off with that one off the top. Yeah, I'm not originally from the Valley. I'm originally from Illinois. I ended up out here at the Navy base by Sealy in 2007. And got out end of 2010. Hung around Holtville for a while and kind of ended up downtown here in El Centro. Got involved with the Nights on Main with Kayla from Odds and Ends and Liz from T and Deke, and Jessica and Ernie and Derek, of course. And then I was working out of my house in Holtville for a while, and then I moved into the old bourgeois spot over on State Street after they moved into what was Brooks Jewelry, and kind of did that thing for a year, and then ended up starting the Imperial Valley Kayak Club down by Strangers Bar in Discordia. And, from there with, really for any sort of block party, like the only thing you really need is beer and music and art. And, with the three of us together right there, it was like, kind of like, we kind of had to do Fiesta on 5th. Like there was no real excuse not to. And then, we started doing the sidewalk things and, yeah, man.
Have you always been into like doing things with your hands, like art and stuff like that, or is it something that?
It's something that I grew up doing for sure. And then, once I joined the military, like I kind of did it, like as I had time, but it wasn't always the most time to do it. And then, once I got out, I kind of just fell back into it. It's natural, I guess.
What branch of the military were you in?
Navy.
Yeah. Knows your experience, and is it something that you wanted to do, or is it something?
No. I actually got a DUI right out of high school, and that was part of like I basically got all the charges for the DUI dropped, and like everything that came along with that, in exchange for going into the service. So kind of worked out.
Yeah. So I guess lucky for us that because of you being in the Navy, you ended up down here, because otherwise we wouldn't have had.
Man, otherwise I'd still be in Illinois.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah. I mean, probably, maybe not, but
Yeah, you never know. Huh? It's crazy. So one of the things that you do besides art is like furniture restoration. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the things you do with that?
Yeah, I mean, I like the restoration thing was something that I mean that's really what got me involved with odds and ends. Was doing I do a lot of restoration and a lot of custom pieces, like using reclaimed wood, other found items, concrete, steel, like just whatever I can get my hands on, basically. Yeah.
And tying that to your art, a lot of your art is based around like something you might have found like out on the slabs or wherever you're like out there like exploring. Like, can you tell a little bit about how you take a piece and you're like like I'm gonna turn this into
really, like I just like I like to go explore around the desert and paint, and just I mean like just it's I'm stuck downtown quite a bit, especially like on Fifth Street right there, like by the clinic and shit, and it's just like it's like total opposite out there. Like there's I don't have, it's quiet, like I don't have to deal with all the traffic and all that shit, and I can just kind of go out and get away and reset, refresh, that sort of thing. But I mean, yeah, no, I mean, as far as finding like pieces, like I just, if something catches my eye, then I'll grab it. Like if I think I can do something with it, then cool. Otherwise, just yeah. I mean, and I do the same thing like downtown, or or I mean, anywhere really for that matter. Like if I see something like laying around that I think is like cool that I can use for something, like yeah, I'll totally grab it.
Yeah, and I think I've seen like even like when it's something like on a wall, you'll like design something from it.
Yeah,
like, off of it.
Working with the I don't know, I guess surroundings, kind of thing. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about Fifth Street? Like what is it that keeps you like, or motivates you to keep, investing your time and effort and kind of like not letting it go? Like a lot of, because I mean, in a lot of like small towns, downtowns are like dying, and like even Calexico in our downtown,
especially in the valley, like all of them really,
Yeah, you go to Brawley.
Except for, I mean, Imperial's doing good, but Imperial only has 2 blocks of downtown. Like that's not.
Yeah, I mean it's easy
difficult to manage.
Yeah, it's easy to restore and clean up and whatnot. Yeah. But like here downtown or in Calexico, like you go and it's like freaking ghost towns. So what is it about Fifth Street that that, because I mean you could easily like go somewhere else and do what you do, but yet
yeah, I totally could. Like I could go anywhere. I have no freaking ties here at all. I mean, aside from like my like the downtown family, I guess. I don't know, I just like there's so much freaking potential, like it's there's so much potential for something great here, and with the with the location and everything too, like right off the 8, like I don't I just like the potential to turn something that like a lot of people, especially like even like I mean local people, like the local government, like the city, and like the like so many people just kind of like given up on it, but then there's like this little group of us down here that have like we see what it could be, and we just kind of keep plugging away at it, like I mean, and I really don't mind a challenge, like it's definitely we got our work cut out for us, with like I mean there's so many freaking issues down here, like I mean It's like, I mean, hell, like we still have buildings that are condemned from the earthquake that, you know, like it's almost like the like property owners have basically written off, you know, their tax write-offs now. Like they're not going to dump the money into it.
Yeah.
The city just turns a blind eye to any of it and just, you know, lets them get away with whatever the hell they want. As long as they're getting their tax money, who the hell cares? You know, like,
because I hear there's a lot, you know, potential. There's potential. I mean, even in Calexico, you know, everybody says
Calexico, Brawley, like all of them, man. Like they're.
But you know, for somebody that, you know, kind of like, you know, local that kind of like has no ties where, you know, to businesses or you know, like we were talking about, like the family names and stuff like that. You know, it gets kind of tiring, like listening to people say there's potential, but yet, you know, nothing ever happens. Who do you think, you know, needs to take the lead and you know, making sure that this potential is
Well, I mean, I think there's a solid group of us down here that have already taken the lead. There's just, I mean, there's such minimal backing from the city as far as downtown goes, minimal effort. Like, I mean, to even just, I mean, getting these fools to sweep the fucking sidewalk is like, you know, it's a freaking mission. Like, yeah, I mean, like, I guess this, you know, it's almost like once you know, we started getting, you know, building like these bigger stores, the corporate, you know, like fuck, we have what, 5-6 Starbucks in El Centro now. Like, man, like I mean, just like, and they're all like out on these major intersections and that sort of thing. And you know, like I know, like God would it kill to put something like that downtown.
Yeah.
You know, like something like that, like to move something of that nature. You know, maybe not Starbucks because that's, I mean, fuck, we have too damn many of them.
Yeah.
But you know, to make, you know, the push for, you know, if somebody wanted to bring something into El Centro, to make the push, like, okay, you can do it, but you know, like, you know, bring it downtown or something, or you know, it's, yeah, it just seems like it's yeah, like we just get a blind eye turned to down here. It's, you know, it's like, oh, it's, you know, yeah, oh yeah, there's a few, you know, little mom and pop places and, you know, some artists and that sort of thing, but like there's, you know, also all the tweakers and the freaking heroin addicts nodding off on the corner.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, that's something that, you know, like we didn't ask for the methadone clinic to be put downtown. The city approved that shit. Mm-hmm. Like the methadone clinic bought the building, and now they're stuck in a position because they can't, even if they change the zoning, like it doesn't matter because the clinic would be grandfathered in. And that's something that, you know, that they've done. You know, like that's not anything that's, you know, that's our choice. I mean, we would obviously, you know, I mean, it's 2019. Like, we'd rather have a walk-in dispensary down here than a freaking clinic.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, and the city even, like, they even denied, you know, a clinic anywhere in El Centro, much less downtown. You know, like they basically equated, you know, like people that, you know, like, you know, maybe want to smoke a joint or something to like the people that are waiting in line outside of the dispensary. You know, that's Jason Jackson's word. He didn't, you know, he doesn't want to put everything into a golden parachute, but I mean, fuck, man, like it's like, you know, you got to diversify, you know, like, think of the city as, you know, like an investment portfolio and diversify. You know, you don't put all your money in one thing and just hope, you know, like you spread it around a little bit and get what you can.
Yeah.
You know, it's like city's broke as shit. Well, yeah, I mean, you fucking abandon half the damn town. Like, what do you expect? It's like, you know, maybe if you know, if you guys would, put a little bit of, I don't know, just give a little bit more attention down here, work with us a little bit instead of, you know, like going to businesses and, you know, giving them crap and fining them for nonsense and like like, you know, actually working with the businesses instead of, you know, working against them, I guess. Like, man, yeah, it's a thing that I don't understand, or, you know, a lot of us don't understand half the time, you know.
Yeah. And normally I try not to like do like, you know, political stuff, but like for you, I feel that, you know, you guys are here, you guys are, you know, living it, you guys are like,
yeah.
So like I feel like, you know, there's no arguing with you, like in the sense of, you know what's going on. You know what the downtown needs, what people like really want, or what they would attract more traffic down here. So like, yeah, I mean, I get you. Like I you know, like I said, I've been following you for a while, and I see like the amount of effort and work that you guys, sweat and tears that you guys put into this downtown, and you know, it kind of sucks, you know. I feel like Calexico kind of has something similar with Angel, but unfortunately he's kind of like focused on not the downtown, but the outlets.
Right.
I mean, I feel like we should bring it more towards the downtown, and like make sure that we have more traffic around there and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's totally, you know, not to like in your guys' case, to knock the outlets, you know, like I guess like, but like it needs to be, you know, like it has to. I mean, it's a community. It needs to be unified and symbiotic, and you know, like it needs to function like its own little, you know, I guess ecosystem type thing. You know, like
yeah, especially since it's like closer than,
it's almost like there's like almost like an invasive species or some shit, you know, that just kind of like comes in and takes over, and then like, you know, what was is just,
yeah, it's just left to rot and stuff.
Yeah,
exactly. Some of your, like, I guess most of your artwork is has like a message of activism, maybe, in a word.
Yeah.
Do you feel that we need like the younger generations to like get more involved in that sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, you know, I mean, like, I think there's a lot of us that would, you know, agree that, you know, like the way things are not working all that well, like on a lot of levels, you know. And I feel like, especially, you know, from you know, like the art point of view, you know, like visual, like imagery, you know, like it leaves like an impact on, you know, on the mind, you know, like, you know, I mean, you can read something, you know, and I mean, you're only gonna, like, you know, like if you read a paragraph, like you may only remember, like, you know, like a sentence or something out of it. But like if you see, like, to see something, you know, like if it's something that's just like damn, you know, like it's yeah, it leaves an impact, and you know, it gets people thinking, and you know, it actually, you know, like it's like an instantaneous, like, emotional, you know, like charge thing, you know, like that. I mean, that the DIY abortion clinic that I set up across from the Planned Parenthood protesters, you know, like that, man, the sign got taken down within a couple of hours, and later that day, like, somebody had went in and tried to rip the entire installation out of the freaking ground, you know. So like, obviously that made an impact with somebody, and you know, it got a conversation started, you know, about, you know, like, in a non-religious way, you know, like I feel like that kind of took the religion aspect out of it and made it more of a health issue than, you know, like other ways that I could have gone about it. But yeah, no, I mean, like that obviously, made some sort of an emotional impact on somebody, and like that's something that they're gonna remember and think about, and maybe eventually one day, like probably not, like a lot of people get stuck in their ways, but maybe that'll change. I'm sure it at least made a positive impact on somebody. Maybe not that person that got all mad and took out art because it offended them. But,
I mean,
snowflakes. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. El Centro has a lot of talent. You got Ernesto Yerenia, who's in LA, but he's originally from El Centro.
Yeah.
You got Fernando Reza, who's doing some amazing things with some big companies. And I feel that now that kind of I guess that Fernando's down here now. He's in El Centro, and he's planning to have events and exhibitions. Do you think that'll be helpful in bringing out our youth and making them more aware of just the art the art community that we have down here, and that way it can push them into being more involved in what's going on in their town community?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of there's fucking talent for sure. And a lot of it stays hidden. I think just because of, for one, there wasn't any outlets really, unless you went to one of the IVC or SDSU or Carmen Durazo, there wasn't a whole lot of street events going on. I know Brawley had First Fridays going for a while. And I've heard talk of that thing starting up again, which would be awesome. But yeah, I mean, I think that the more people that we have doing things and providing creative outlets or inspiration, will definitely influence the youth. Yeah, I mean, and I know for a while there was another gallery that had opened down the road from me, and it was just fuck yes, it goes back to that, that thing I was talking about with the city, where it's an ecosystem, the more people that we have doing and feeding into it, and that we can network with, and collaborate on different ideas, the better. Is I think.
Yeah, and I feel that El Centro has kind of that going a little bit with you guys, and then you have what's the store across the street?
Tindik,
and then you have Alton, and it's a little ecosystem that's kind of trying really hard to grow and spread. And something that I wish that we had more of in Calexico. And
I think and that's the other thing. I think that the more that we do this sort of thing down here, that the other communities will, because I know you guys have the art walks down there and everything that Angel's been doing with the different events, and I feel maybe we could. I know Imperial's got its little thing going, but like I said, that's 2 blocks, and that's an entirely city-ran thing. The city backs, and provides down there. It's a totally different situation for, El Centro and Calexico. It actually, is gonna take people doing it, not just the city setting up, here and there, and and. I mean, it's I don't know where I was going with that.
I told you I was listening to your interview with Omar, IA podcast.
Yeah.
And something that you mentioned that I agreed with you 100% was, the sense of these cliques that we have here in the Valley.
Oh yeah.
Where it's I don't. He's not my friend, so you can't talk to him because
small town bullshit.
And I kind of like got a little bit backlash when I interviewed somebody for my podcast, and people didn't really like this person, and for a while I kind of like stopped doing it because I was like, man, I don't need this crap. I don't need people like busting my balls for something that, you know, I'm just giving this person a platform, an opportunity, an equal opportunity to present themselves and or give their point of view. And to me, it's like, you know, I want to be friends with everybody and anybody. And at the end of the day, like, if you're listening to somebody that you really don't like, it's up to you to either not listen or take what you listen and digest and believe this person or not. So like, what has been your experience with, you know, these cliques here in the?
Well, I mean, you know, like I'm not from here, so I didn't grow up with everybody. You know what I mean? Like the people that grew up here, like they have, you know, like everybody has like their little friend circles, and you know, like that's cool, and you know, and whatever. But I mean, I feel like that's something that also that, you know, like totally holds the valley back. Is like, oh, you know, like I'm not gonna go support this because this person's there, and it's just like, it's fucking stupid, man. You know, like and I've had it with like just, you know, like different artists that I've exhibited, or you know, like even different vendors that have been, you know, that have been down for our events, and it's like who, oh cool, like, you know, you've got a problem with this dude, like, okay, cool, but there's also like 40 other fucking people here that you're probably gonna be cool with, you know, like the, you know, like just using like vendors as an example, you know, like not like people like in the group, you know, like you can still go to an event and like support, you know, all the, you know, the local shit that's happening, that people are trying to get going, and you know, like you don't have to go talk to that fucking person, like you know, you know, like but then also like you know, like what you were saying with like where you got backlash and like you kind of like quit for a minute, like, yeah, no, like, dude, fuck yeah, like, dude, like don't fucking quit, like that's reason like to not quit, you know, like just like like I feel like there's a lot of people that don't do something because they're afraid of the backlash, and especially in the valley since it's so small, like, you know, like the backlash can be, you know, it can seem like it's big, but it's in reality it's small. It's not really anything that's that big of a deal. Like, you know, oh, you know, like so and so is talking shit. Okay, cool. Let them talk shit. The people that are, you know, like using your podcast, for example, you know, like let people fucking listen to it. Let them come to their own conclusion. You know, like there's a lot of miserable people in the valley that are not doing anything and are trying to hold everybody back for no other reason than they don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, like that. I feel like if there were, you know, the people that are talking shit on the people that are doing things should, you know, maybe do a thing, and then maybe they wouldn't talk so much shit. Maybe they'd be a little bit fucking happier with their existence. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Like, I enjoy what I do, you know, you obviously enjoy what you do, and, you know, we're not out here talking crap on other people that are trying to do things. Yeah. You know, it's always the people that aren't doing the things that are talking crap on the people that are trying to do the things. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, get over your shit and do something.
Yeah. Well, do you think it's important that, you know, we support anybody and everybody? Like, it doesn't matter, like, if you're from El Centro, if you're from Brawley, if you're from Heber.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, it's the valley, you know, like the valley's is, you know, like I think, you know, like if you're, yeah, like, I mean, small thinking, you know, yeah. Like if you're, you know, like people that are only supporting, you know, like Calexico people, or only supporting El Centro people or whatever, like, fucking why?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like we're living in, you know.
like why would you restrict your fucking thinking that small? You know?
Yeah.
Like it's dumb.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
I was recently asked about, you know, your podcast. How do you plan on, or what are you gonna do to help the city, or and I kind of slept on it, and I was like, you know, why is this person putting this pressure on me when it's like not only me, it's gotta be like a community thing, you know, like what are you guys gonna do about, you know, making your city better or improving? Because at the end of it, like I can be on this doing this and reach out to like, I don't know, like 100 people, but I mean it's more than 100 people out there that are, you know.
Yeah.
So like at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, yeah, we're giving, because you're giving people a platform, but you're giving these people a platform so that, you know, the community can come out and support them. So like, do you feel that there's more people are putting more pressure on you to like kind of like make this you know, a thing, or do you feel like people themselves should be putting more pressure on themselves to come out and support, you know, the artists, the musicians that you guys are?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like, yeah, like people should definitely be pressuring, or not, maybe not pressuring, but, you know, like with, you know, like pushing themselves to get involved, and, you know, like their friends to get involved, you know, and, you know, like, or maybe not even getting involved so much, just coming out and supporting, you know, like the different events and that sort of thing. You know, like it, I mean, but like as far as like me and like people, like, you know, like I really like out, like I don't pay much attention to anything unless, you know, like it's, I mean, like you know, like I listen and acknowledge, but like I don't take anything that anybody says to heart outside of my little circle, you know, like I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, you have your group that,
yeah,
you
like
know,
like I have my group that knows, you know, like what's, you know, like we know what, you know, what the deal is and what we got to do, and like there's, you know, like anything else from outside is, you know, okay, cool, but it's really just a lot of, it's chatter unless the person from the outside wants to put some sort of action with it.
Yeah. I saw that you're part of the water station group that, you know, helps out.
Yeah, we're going out tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
We're gonna meet at Ocotillo at 8:00 if anybody wants to meet us out there at the cafe.
Do you, you know, especially since, you know, the way our you know politics is right now, do you get any backlash for, you know, doing that for?
Dude, I've had to block people, like just like ranting on nonsense, you know, like, oh, you're everything that's wrong with America, you're wasting your time, Trump's gonna build the wall, it doesn't matter, you're a disgrace to white people, fuck it. It's just like stupid shit, man.
It's crazy.
But it's cool.
Do you feel you would get the same backlash, like, let's say 6 years ago, if you were posting that?
No, I don't think so. I think that the we have this president that's really divisive, and has, you know, he definitely encourages that sort of talk to a certain point. You know, like I feel like under, you know, like the other president, you know, like it was, you know, like shit was a lot more chill. Mm-hmm. Like, and, you know, as far as that part goes, like, you know, like this dude that we have now, like he doesn't, you know, he doesn't, oh, I mean, he kind of does, but he does like he's not necessarily like openly racist, but he kinda is, like, in a roundabout way, you know, like that whole chanting thing that was going on like last weekend about send them back.
It was yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah, like 2 days ago. Yeah, like what the fuck where are you gonna send them back to? They're fucking citizens. You do, like, you know, it's just you're just looking at, you know, somebody with a different color fucking skin, or, you know, like some sort of, you know, like whatever, and, you know, like, it's fucking stupid. But that's his political game, and that's how he got into office to begin with, was on, you know, blatant divisiveness. And like, that's, yeah, no, I mean, that definitely factors into this shit, like, because I mean, like, the dudes that I've had to block are, you know, like, they're straight up MAGA chuds, you know, like they, that's their thing. I'm just, no bueno, man. That ain't how we move shit forward. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's kind of sad when, you know, one thing that I remember as a kid was that stuck to me when it came to like history was the melting pot. That we were this melting pot.
Yeah.
And you know
what happened to that, man?
Yeah, I mean, it was ingrained in my, like, I don't know, for some reason I remember that word, you know, melting pot. And you know, basically, you know, immigrants built, you know, America, you know. And it's crazy that now, you know, just hearing that chant was like kind of scary in a way.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
it's
almost some Nazi shit.
Yeah,
you know, like,
and for him to say that, oh yeah, you know, I didn't agree with it, and I spoke quickly, and it took him 13 seconds to like kind of get back to his speech.
Yeah, he just let that shit go.
Yeah, and I mean, especially living here in a community, you know, where, you know, we're so close to the border, where, you know, some of the things that, you know, they say on in terms of, you know, these immigrants coming out, and, you know, and it's not true. It's kind of crazy, you know, like, for people to believe, you know, everything they hear, and I mean, at the end of the day, like, immigration is gonna be like,
it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, I mean,
like, forever. Like, there's no.
I mean, when you're supposed to be the best country in the world, there's obviously gonna be people that wanna come and be part of, you know, part of this, you know, American dream.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I mean, it's a blessing and a curse, because, you know, it's a blessing because, you know, there's a lot of people that don't want to go out in 100 degrees weather and you know, pick up lettuce or onion and whatnot, and you get all these people that are willing to do it because, you know, they know no better, you know, they come from worse things, you know.
Right.
And a curse because, you know, there's always going to be those people that are going to use that narrative as, you know, a way to, you know, entice, you know, these races, or you know, I don't know. It's a never-ending story, and but right now it seems like it's been amplified like by 1 million, and
oh yeah,
and it's crazy because I mean, I think I saw you posted a picture of you going out to the water stations, and I remember somebody like said something that I was like, you know, why, like, but
yeah, I mean. That's always gonna be there, you know. I mean, like I said, I grew up in the Midwest, and, you know, like, I feel like a lot of people there just really, like, you know, if you're not exposed to something, like, you're not gonna see it from any other perspective than, you know, like, you only know. You know, people only know, you know, like, what they've experienced, what they've seen, like, that sort of thing. Like, if you're stuck in the middle of, you know, you know, in the middle of nowhere, and, you know, like all you know is, you know, like, your family, and, you know, whatever you see on the news, you know, and, like, you know, I mean, God forbid that, you know, like you're in one of those households that like only watches Fox News or some shit, you know, like that's yeah, I don't know, but you know, and at the same time, I feel like technology is kind of, you know, like, I mean, it definitely helps shine light and provide different perspectives, and you know, like I know that like a lot of times like I'll post some, you know, some political shit on, you know, Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and you know, like I still have a lot of ties to people back there, so you know, like I like to think that, you know, hopefully by me sharing that sort of shit, like you know, like it's providing a different perspective, because man, I got some uncles, man, that are just, man, they're on some other shit. There's like, you know, like if you weren't family, I would just put you on snooze for 30 days and walk away, man. You know, but like, yeah, it's, man, this president.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I mean, it's to me, it's hard to talk about politics because I'm afraid of the aggressiveness that, you know, it brings out of some people when, you know, you talk about their president. Because I think it's crazy that people say, oh, you know, he's our president. The country elected him when he didn't even win the popular vote. So like, right. You know, the majority of us didn't really, you know, pick him as a president. So
yeah.
When Pasa Calexico did a video, and you said a quote, everybody's supporting each other, that's how shit changes.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit about what, you know, what's behind that quote? Like,
yeah, well, I mean, it kind of goes back to that thing that I was talking about earlier with, or you know, and even with the I8 podcast, you know, with like the click shit and all that, you know, like if, man, like it's, yeah, just like, I mean, like supporting people that are doing good things, and you know, focusing less on, you know, the divisiveness, like that's like, man, yeah, no, that's I mean, it's kind of, it's like I mean, really, like if you get it down to it, like, you know, like the you know, the valley and the small town thing we were talking about is the same thing that's happening, you know, like ultimately, like on the macro scale, like nationally, you know, like you've got like all these little, you know, like, oh, I'm not gonna you know, like it's, man, I hear it with, you know, like people here, like in the valley, like, you know, like here at the west and at the bar, there's, you know, the little safe space stickers, the little rainbow, like the LGBT safe space stickers. Uh-huh. Like people are like, oh, I'm not gonna go there because, you know, so, you know, like, bro, the food is fucking bomb, the beer is fucking delicious, shut up and fucking, you know,
yeah,
like. And at the same time, you've got like these other people like, oh, well, you know, he won't bake me a cake. Okay, that's cool, man. Like, go get a cake somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, like, or maybe like get a different fucking cake. You know, like just support people. Like, don't be a fucking dick and shit on people because they think differently than you. Like, that's only holding all of us back. Ultimately, yeah. You know.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing that, you know. We're not everybody's gonna agree with everybody, but that shouldn't deter from, you know, like supporting the community. Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like it's gonna affect you one way or another. You know, like, I mean, if downtown area dies, there's job losses. There's, you know, crime goes up, you know, like,
you get Fifth Street.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I don't know, I just feel that, you know, we a lot of people talk a lot of shit, and yet they don't see the big picture, like how at the end of the day it's gonna like turn out bad for everybody, not just the people that you're ignoring or not wanting to support.
Yeah. Too focused on the me, not enough on the we.
Yeah, it's
It
crazy.
was cheesy as fuck, but it worked.
Yeah, we'll put it as a. So Derek, Jerrod, sorry, Jerrod, we're almost at an hour, and I know strangers needs to close. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
I just thanks to Jessica for providing us with the space and this delicious coffee. And man, yeah, like I don't know, like yeah, it's just we we're all in this shit together, man. Like it. Maybe there's not any one golden parachute that's gonna save the valley necessarily, but I don't know. I kind of feel like like I look at things sometimes like like if you like if you have like a rock, and you throw it in some water, like it makes a little splash and it sends out the ripple, like. But then like you also like if you have a handful of rocks and you throw them in, it just sends out like this massive fucking ripple. I kind of look at like people doing things as that. Like if there's like a few of us that are doing things, like it'll it sends out like it's a few little fucking ripples here and there. And but at the same, the more of us that are doing things, the more the more disturbance there is. And like that's, I mean, I feel like that's how we build the valley up as a whole, instead of just individuals or cliques or communities. Like I feel like the valley needs to come up as a whole. That's it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was awesome. Something I want to say is make sure to follow Jerrod, the Kayak Club, follow Strangers West, Strangers, follow Discordia, follow all these people that
Discordia, T and Deke, Twilight, Incredible, Black Lodge. Like there's so many people down here trying to do dope shit.
Yeah.
And all that we really ask is the support of the community. Like people ain't got, like people ain't got to buy shit, just support.
Yeah, that's something that I wanted to say. By following this time that I've been following you guys and looking at what you do, and I think what I've gone from everything that you guys do is that the passion, the fact that like you just said, you don't have to buy shit, that most of the things that you do is because you love it and you want to share with people the things that are happening here, the people that are creating down here, and I think that's really special. I mean, you don't find it everywhere where like people aren't only there to monetize their shit or become rich.
Yeah, we'd go to the mall if we wanted. If that was our goal.
Yeah. And I think that that's why I really wanted to meet you guys and come down and talk to you guys, because it's hard to find people with just that passion to create, to share, to just be friendly, to be kind to one another. It's hard, especially nowadays. It's really hard. And yeah, I want to thank you guys, and hopefully I get to meet the other people and maybe interview them and kind of like put them out there, and hopefully people come out and support, follow you guys. That way they're informed as when you guys are having events, and they come down and just come down, have a beer, chat. It's fun. I think people will really enjoy it and make this a thing, and hopefully that the city sees that, they see that the passion you guys have for keeping this area alive and striving and moving forward.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So
yeah, it's dope.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been following you guys, and I don't know, it's just something that if you go back to listen to my episodes, there's a lot of episodes when I talk about you guys. You know, I shout you guys out, and you know, yeah, it's commendable to see what you guys are doing, and with the little help that there is.
Well, thank you.
So, Jerrod, thank you once again, and wish you nothing but the best and success. And
same,
and yeah,
same likewise. So thanks for the opportunity and reaching out to us.
Yeah, no, thank you for taking the time. I know you're busy all the time, and yeah, it's not easy.
Shit, fly.
All right, guys, thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.